What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Before I get into the subject matter at hand, if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'll put a link in the description box where you could subscribe and show love to Too Raw for TV. I try to do the best videos I can for you guys. Now, earlier tonight, I was looking at a video from D-Style Boxing. If you're not subscribed to D-Style Boxing, please subscribe to D-Style. Now, um, D-Style was talking about how Dominic Breazeale basically said that he thought the fight was stopped prematurely. In fact, here's what he actually said in the interview. All right. He said, I think the ref stopped it a little early because I could hear him saying 7 and 8, but that's boxing. He did his job and kept us safe for our next fight. Now, first of all, let's look at this picture. All right. I'm just going to shut up for a second, for 10 seconds. Just look at the picture. Is there like a guy that's going to be able to continue in this fight? He's flat on his ass. Flat on his ass. And then he says he could hear 7 and 8. So basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You didn't even hear that. You were out of it. Okay, that means you were on Queer Street. You were knocked the fuck out. You were just passing by. Just passing by. Lollipops and sticky plums and jelly beans. I mean, you were out of it, dude. Okay, you should be thanking the ref. He might have saved your life. Okay. Um. Let me go further with this. Let me see what else he said. I got on my feet and had my legs under me. It's the heavyweight division, so there's going to be big shots from guys with power. This was a situation where he landed a big right hand before I did. I thought I was going to come on in the later rounds. I'll be back and go for the heavyweight title again. Um, I got on my feet and had my legs under me. From what I saw, you barely had your legs under you and you didn't beat the count. You weren't upright at 10. To me, a guy beats the count when he's upright. You were like in the position of moving, upright when he already counted 10. So you were knocked out. You didn't beat the count. So I don't understand why this is even a discussion. You know what I'm saying? This is that Trump factor that's going on. People have alternative facts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to accept reality, so they just make up their own reality and shit. Like you got knocked out, man, and you weren't going to come on strong. All right. Um, you were going to, if this fight somehow, some way continued, all right, if this fight continued somehow, you were going to die. I'm not going to use euphemisms. You were likely going to die. If not in that fight, ultimately down the road. All right. I remember reading about the old school, uh, bouts. One fight that comes to mind is Max Baer. I can't remember the opponents, okay, but I remember Max Baer fought some guy, right? And unbeknownst to uh, people, involved in that fight, that guy suffered a serious TBI, traumatic brain injury. I think he was out cold for. I'm trying to get. I can't remember the exact details, but he was out for like a day. He was unconscious. Then he regained consciousness, and I think he felt really groggy. But back in those days, you know, if you could, function, if you could move if you can just throw your 1-2, hey, get in the ring, kid, and show them what you can do. You know, um, but he wasn't right. He had suffered a significant brain injury which never healed properly, and really he probably should never fought again. I'm pretty sure he probably had bleeding in the brain and something wasn't something had detached partially. If I'm not mistaken, I think his brain had actually partially like detached from the brainstem somewhat, but not to the point where it could kill him, right? So I think like a fight or two down the road, the guy got hit with a solid jab or maybe it was a rabbit punch or something like that. But he died. I think his brain like partially detached from his brainstem and he died. Okay. And that was technically the second guy that Max Baer killed in the ring. He killed one guy up, like just straight up killed him in the ring. I think this was like a secondhand, you know, murder, if you want to call it, even though you don't use that term in boxing. But after that, Max Baer became more clownish. He held back and he became more of a boxer puncher rather than what he was before, which was, a guy who really could hurt people in the ring. All right. So, what I want to convey with this is that boxing is not something to be played with. Okay. There's been far too many guys that have been killed in the ring. Kid Parade comes to mind. Was it Donnie Moore? Okay. Uh, we all saw what happened to Gerald McClellan. We don't want to see shit like that happen again. So I know your pride is telling you one thing, Dominic Breazeale, but you got knocked out. Okay, what you should have said, I got knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Props to Deontay Wilder. He did what a champion should do. I'm going to come back stronger. In the second fight, if we fight again, I'm determined to have a different outcome. I could accept something like that. But to come out here and say this stupid shit, man, come on, man. You got knocked out, dude. I just don't like when people don't want to accept. It's like some people, I understand people don't like to lose, but uh, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's no shame in getting knocked out. Joe Frazier got knocked out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know if Ken Norton got knocked out in the first round, but Floyd Patterson got knocked out in the first round twice. And Floyd Patterson, one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but he got knocked out. Michael Spinks, one of the greatest light heavyweights ever, got knocked out in the first round by Mike Tyson. Okay, so there's no, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Um, I just think that people need to really start respecting Deontay Wilder as a fighter, and I also think another reason why I don't like Dominic Breazeale saying this is because all it's really going to do is give Wilder's detractors and haters a stupid and false talking point. You know what I'm saying? Um, oh, see, uh, he, Brazil would have won. You know what I'm saying? He would have came back. Who knows? The fight was stopped too early. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened. If they didn't stop it, look what Fury did. The difference being is that Fury got knocked down in the 12th round, and Fury was pretty much alert. You know, I would say he was alert starting by the count of two. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to gather himself and get up. By you saying that you didn't become alert until the count of 8, that doesn't bode well for you, Breazeale. That means you were knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You would have been, your legs wouldn't have been under you, and you would have been a sitting duck for a devastating knockout. Devastating. All right. Um, and the way these guys hit now in boxing, you don't want that.